You do not need $50,000 in savings to buy your first investment property. I repeat, you do not need $50,000 in savings to buy your first investment property. All right. So let's just dispel this myth right now. In this video, I'm going to break down the exact path to buying your first investment property going from 0 to 1. All right. So let's get into it. For y'all that don't know, my name is Jay Nacombe, real estate investor based out of Baltimore, flipped over 100 houses in the past 7 years. So the first question that when it comes to owning investment property is, do you own your own primary residence yet? Because in order to be a real estate investor, you have to own where you live. I mean, I know the big guys like Grant Cardone say, oh, don't buy a primary residence, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to be honest with you, like, I don't listen to that advice. I'm a stern believer of buying your first property as your primary residence. Reason being because, number one, you want to allow yourself to have a fixed monthly payment. When it comes to budgeting and creating a financial plan, you got to control what you can control. And why not control your biggest expense? And that's your housing costs, right? So you could have the opportunity to rent something, but ultimately you give up control of what you're going to pay for it because it's going to increase year after year. All right. So if the answer is no to that question, like, start there. Don't chase investment property loans and all of that stuff. Like, buy your primary residence. Like, owner occupied loans have way lower down payments, obviously the best interest rates you could get, and more forgiving qualification requirements than typical investment property loans. So most investment property loans, they have a crazy high down payment, right? Oftentimes they want like 15, 20, even 25% down. So you got to be super liquid to be able to put that on a DSCR loan type of thing. For owner occupied loan, it's very, very different. Like, you can get it for as low as 3 to 5% down. Sometimes less. Like, sometimes like different banks got 100% financing on certain loan products. So it just all depends, right? So that's the difference between needing like $50,000 down for savings for a down payment versus, needing damn near what? 10 to 12,000 to get started as far as like covering closing costs and things like that. So that's a huge, crazy difference, right? And even if we say 12,000, right, you can also raise money from friends and family. You can get gifts to help cover that gap. But I'm not going to say you don't need no money, but you definitely need some money. Even if you do get gifts, it's super important to have reserves. All right. So definitely you want to take advantage of the owner occupied loans. The best one that I highly recommend is the FHA 203K loan. That's what I actually use personally to buy my first primary residence. Because if y'all don't know, the FHA 203K loan, it lets you buy a property that needs work, roll the renovation costs into your mortgage. So instead of buying a move-in ready home at market price, you can actually buy a fixer upper that needs work well below market value, finance the repairs, fix it up, and force the appraisal through the renovation itself. This matters for future investors for two things, right? Because you're building equity from day one instead of paying full price for a turnkey home. And, at the end of the day, it's all about building equity, ultimately cash flow in the later stance. But equity and appreciation is a must-have. And you know what they say in real estate, like, you make money when you buy. So having that experience to learn how to find a good deal and make money on the buy is super, super crucial and super important. And number two, also, it gives you the experience on how to manage a renovation, right? Like, how to price things out, how to see how long things are going to take. Because if you're just completely new to the space, people are going to take advantage of you. All right. So the best way to get that experience under your belt is to just go ahead and get a 203K loan, right? So that's something that I highly, highly recommend, right? So once you buy your property and you got it spruced up, you all, forced appreciation, and you actually got it, you closed on it. Here's another move you can make, especially if you're single and you don't need a lot of space. House hacking is another great strategy, which I've personally used as well. Again, I'm not giving out strategies and tips that I've never done. This is all coming from things I've done personally. So you can also buy a duplex, you could buy a triplex, a fourplex. Up to 4 units still qualifies for owner-occupant financing. You live in one unit and you rent out the others. Your tenant's rent covers part or all of your mortgage. And also during the qualification process, you can use that future rent to help qualify for a higher leverage property. So this are all great ways to qualify and buy an investment property, right? Because number one, you get the low down payment of an owner-occupied loan, right? But the property behaves like an investment from day one. So you're constantly thinking about the cash flow. You're looking at the expenses from a day-to-day standpoint as far as water bills and, maintenance bills as far as cutting the grass and things like that. So you just have the mindset of an investor, which is the biggest thing to turn on. So once you start that from day one, that's probably the fastest way to get your first taste of being a landlord while minimizing your own housing costs. Sometimes you get to live for it for free, right? So if you're able to do both of those, like a 203K and buying a multi-unit in house hack, man, that's pretty much like the cherry on top. That's probably the best strategy to get in the business of buying your first investment property. All right. So here's the pattern. Once you close, you got to stabilize. You're renting it out. You can live in it for 1 to 2 years and let it season. Then, rinse and repeat. Move to a new primary residence using another low down payment loan and convert the first place into a full rental. Do this 2 or 3 times if you've built a small portfolio of, 4, a 3 unit, a 2 unit, that's 9 units. And as quick as 3 years or as long as 6 years. It all depends on your pace and how long it takes. But ultimately, you just got to get that first one, right? So just to wrap up, if you don't own a home yet, that's actually your unlock. All right. That's not a disadvantage. So start with the owner occupied, use tools like the 203K. You can even house hack, get a partner to qualify for the loan. And if it makes sense for your life, let the equity build up and do the heavy lifting for that next property. All right. But you got to start with one. That's the key. Start with that first one. That's the hardest one. So if y'all like this video, feel free to drop a comment and let me know if y'all got a property yet. How did y'all first buy your first investment property? Where you're starting from? And I'll help you point you in the right direction. All right. So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, stay tuned. We're dropping videos like this every single week. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.